Oh, we're live. Hey, this is Denver Gamer back with Toast Man. We are doing a Sega Genesis nostalgia discussion. We've got some games here. We want to talk about the Sega Genesis tonight. And if you stop in, leave a comment and let us know what some of your favorite games of the Sega Genesis are and what your nostalgia is for it. How'd you get your Sega? Did you own a Sega? You know, what part of your life did you get into Sega Genesis, man? It's got an incredible library of games. Oh my god, it's insane. So, how about the story of how you got your Sega? I had Nintendo, and you had Sega. So you remember that, how you got your Sega Genesis, Toast Man?
Oh yeah. So back towards the end of '89, the Sega Genesis was released, and I was in high school. I was a senior, and I the last system that I had collected was the ColecoVision. For some reason, I skipped the NES, but you had the NES, and I would play with you.
Christmas present.
Yeah, it's Christmas present. Play some Batman with you. Play some DuckTales, some of the other titles, but I don't know. It just wasn't really for me. And when I started seeing the advertisements and the like for the Sega Genesis, I just knew. I was like, man, this is going to be awesome. And I gotta get one. So after Christmas, I started getting serious about it, and I had just bought myself a VCR. It was one of these weird things. Like, I wanted a VCR for my room because the family had one.
What for? What you need that private VCR for, Scott? We got one in the living room.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what the hell?
Debbie does Dallas 18 coming out.
I don't know. So I bought it, and it was, of all things, I bought it through a mail order, and it wasn't like one of those scams. It was actually a decent VCR, but I used it I don't know, a couple of weeks. I'm like, you know what? I should have spent my money on a Sega Genesis. So I found this guy at he was in my earth science class. It was a friend of a friend, and
he wasn't dealing drugs.
Not dealing drugs.
Dealing Genesis.
And he wanted to buy it from me, and he kind of dragged his feet. I gave it to him, and he kind of dragged his feet, pay me back. But eventually, he did pay me everything. I took all that money. And I went, I can't remember what store I went to. That's the only thing I can't remember. Like, with my ColecoVision, I remember exactly where I bought it. I bought it at Zayre's. It was over in Tyson's Corner. But I don't remember. It must have been like a Circuit City or something that I got my Sega Genesis. And the suggested list price initially was $189.99. And I think I got like $10 off that. And I was like, oh yeah, awesome. So I got
I remember when you came home with a Sega Genesis.
So I got the bundle with Altered Beast, one of the very early models, and I love. Yeah, there you go. I love the
That's the one he had. This is it.
That's the actual one.
What's the first Genesis game you got right here? I have it in Colorado.
Denver Gamer can show you that it's complete. There should be a manual and everything in there. So that was the game. And so I don't remember if I had bought a second game to go with it. I think I just had Altered Beast initially. Brought that home, and playing that a little bit. And of course, Denver Gamer's like, what are you playing, Scott? Or what are you playing, Toastman? And so, I almost did to myself. And
doesn't matter.
So we started playing through it, and it's just amazing. Like the cut scene where all of a sudden he transforms into the various beasts and stuff like that. It was definitely a step up from anything we had played at the time. So. So basically, I traded a VCR for a Sega Genesis.
Did you trade the VHS porn collection with the VCR too?
Oh yeah. No way around it. How else get some guy to give me $200 for a
VCR? Scott Burns' first game was Golden Axe 2.
So after I got this is like I believe I got the Sega Genesis around January or February of 1990, and so I was looking for ways to be able to build up my library, but everything was expensive. Like each of these games was $50 a piece, and I just spent around $200, when you include tax and everything for the base unit and Ultra Beast. And of course, I needed to get a second controller because it just came with one controller. Those 3-button controllers. So so I just so happened that Sega, like not long after releasing the system, they started this campaign where you could buy 2 get 1 free, and it was a select number of titles, but these are some really solid games. You had Forgotten Worlds. You had
Herzog's Why.
Herzog's Why was one of that was actually one of the cheaper ones. That was me, not
title.
I got it because I could get it for, I think it was just $39.99 opposed to $49.99.
Yeah.
And so that was one of the titles that actually turned out to be one of my favorite titles. It was a strategy game that was well ahead of its time, and just incredible. It's one of the best head-to-head strategy games with mechs and everything that you can play. Just awesome. So that Golden Axe was in there. So I believe the titles were Ghouls and Ghosts, and I think I got Golden Axe, and then the third game I got free was The Last Battle, which turned out to be just terrible side-scrolling game. I was like, what is this crap?
Last Battle. I remember
Last Battle, very forgettable.
Sounds like it sucks.
Based on an anime series or manga or whatever that I'd never heard of, very obscure. I was like, oh, whatever. I believe it was Revenge of Shinobi, and there was another game that I got, and I wound up getting Forgotten Worlds as the free title. And Forgotten Worlds, that was the Sega had a license from Capcom to bring home the arcade version. They did a very good job. It's a shooter, co-op shooter with RPG elements. You can go you stop in shops every now and then and upgrade your weapons and whatnot. Really cool game.
All right, so Scott Burns, you still on here, buddy? I want to go back to what he said. Favorite game, Golden Axe 2. We played a ton of Golden Axe. Like, massive. Like, that is still top 3 beat-em-ups all time for me, probably. I know it's technically a hack and slash or whatever, but if it's not in the top 3, it's in the top 5. You got Final Fight, Streets of Rage, and Golden Axe. Just for nostalgia purposes, it would be probably my top 3. If I'd never played a beat 'em up in my life, and then you ask me now with all the stuff I've done in my world of beat 'em up stuff, I'd probably tell you Ninja Baseball Batman would be one of them. Golden Axe, the arcade game, Revenge of Death Adder. What are some of the other big ones that were arcade only?
Simpsons are beat 'em up.
Simpsons. The Simpsons one was awesome. What's the one with it's kind of like space? I think it's Canam. It's Capcom. Shit, what's the name of that game? It's Battle Circuit. Battle Circuit, is that the name of it? Yeah, they came out with. I have it on PS4. They came out with a thing, but compilation. But anyway, man, Golden Axe. That
Golden Axe was
God, I mean, if they could revive that dead IP, oh God, it pisses me off. Beast Rider was obviously not the worst game in the world, but it was absolutely terrible when compared to the entire series. It's not what was meant to be. It's not a legacy game. That was just, if they could do what they did with Golden Axe, Streets of Rage 4, do that with Golden Axe. Ooh, damn. Sorry I had to go on a rant there, but I wanted to include Scott Burns. He's my buddy up in Canada. And you sent me that game that I'm going to send him. So Scott Burns, my brother Toastman sent me a game to send to you in Canada. And I have a box I'm putting together for you. And yeah, we're working on that. So
there was something incredibly satisfying with the mixture of hack and slash with basically professional wrestling, where you can just bonk people on the head with the hilt.
What's the axe handle?
The axe handle is doink, doink, doink.
Or also the magic, how there was like 3 or 4 different spells where
Exactly.
you could
Also,
save
also
the
the
magic
dragon
up and get the dragon. I don't know if I still remember what was the Amazon chick's name. And we have a couple ads we're going to show for. Let's just go into these. So I'm going to get the Golden Axe ones up here. Bam. Bring an Amazon woman home to meet mom. Introducing Golden Axe. And it looks like it's got a bunch of screenshots there. And just, man, remember that? The giant eagle?
Yeah, so cinematic in places. It's just incredible.
Yeah, it was just, I love it's kind of like a Conan feel to it, along with, I don't know, Beastmaster, I guess.
I would definitely say it was more Conan than it was, say, Dungeons and Dragons. Definitely had a more feel.
Yeah, you got Axe Battler, man. Introducing Golden Axe. There's the same screenshot. This looks like a smaller, maybe even the same ad, just on the right side of that other one. Yeah, it is. That's the same ad on the right side there. And you were saying you used to get 2 for 1 Genesis games. That was their campaign, 2 for 1. Oh, I got 2 comments. Yes, I do, Scott Burns. You shut up. He said, I much appreciated. You don't need to do that. I already got a box getting put together for you since you can't find any Genesis stuff up in Canada. All right. I had an SNES rather than Genesis. My friend had one, and we used to play Joe Montana football like all night. LOL. We played Madden 93, and then we got a Game Genie. Remember when we did the hour-and-a-half quarters, and we played like a 6-hour game, and it was like,
oh my god,
999 points to 14 or something, because we do the HB toss left the whole time.
We never let them score.
HB toss left, and you just run up the sideline and score, man. Every time. Utterly has lulls.
Yeah, we utterly destroyed the CPU. I mean, we were like, by halftime, we're like, do we really want to keep playing? Because it was like the score was already like, over 100 points. So we like just had like, our running back, had like, basically a season's worth of running, and just in the first half of the game.
What Nintendo don't? Sword of Vermilion. I don't think I've played that.
Sword of Vermilion. This is interesting. When Phantasy Star 2 came out, that was basically the largest RPG for home console that had come out. It was a 6 megabit cartridge, basically, like a 750 kilobytes, large of a game.
Really?
And one of the big selling points when I saw Phantasy Star 2 in the store, I mean, it came bundled with the strategy guide. I'd never seen that before. It was like, kind of like a miniature strategy guide, but it was 120 pages, so it was pretty thick. I saw like, oh my god, this game has its own book to go along with it, just so you can play through it. So massive. Well, the next RP so they had a lot of success with Phantasy Star 2, and for obvious reasons.
Well, that's
a huge hit. Now that's a whole nother discussion.
We could do a whole stream on that, but yeah, we beat this. I sat there and watched you beat it. I was, much younger than you.
And you needed the strategy guide to get through the dungeons, because it just the dungeons became so massive, and just a huge time suck just to get through those. There's a lot of leveling up you had to do anyway, a lot of grinding. But
God, she fugly.
Yeah, I like the Japanese artwork better. I'm not a fan.
There she is.
Yeah.
I mean, those look like horns. Those look like elf ears.
Yeah. She looks like a demon rather than a.
That's supposed to be Nai.
That's supposed to be Nai. Yeah. So
yeah, that's not Nai.
That's
some artist that they gave it to. They said, we need a fantasy cover.
The Sword of Vermilion was the second major RPG release, and they also packed a strategy guide with that one. And they did some different things with Sword of Vermilion. It wasn't as good, wasn't as successful as Phantasy Star, but it was quite cool. They have some first person perspective areas with the dungeon stuff. You have these massive boss battles, which didn't really work out so well, but it was cool what they were trying to do. If I'm not mistaken. Who was it? I think it was Yuji Naka, the designer of Sonic. That was one of his first Sega Genesis games. I might be getting the programmer name wrong, but a major developer worked on Sword of a Million, and another major developer worked on Phantasy Star. Different developers. Actually, you know what? It may have been Yu Suzuki who did Shenmue later. May have been him, and then Yuji Naka actually did.
I don't know who any of these people are.
Well, Yuji Naka worked on Sonic, and there was Sonic Team. Sonic Team worked on what would later become Sonic Team worked on Phantasy Star 2, and then Yu Suzuki, who wound up doing Shenmue. If I'm not mistaken, he was in charge of. He had a major role in Sword of a Million, so some pretty good talent working on these early RPGs.
So we got a blockbuster nostalgia question here. You guys remember when they started making videos? You could rent a Blockbuster showing all the tricks for games and how to beat them. I remember one specific one for Street Fighter, and that's archived on YouTube, and it's terrible. It's so funny. It has like the main like arcade Street Fighter champions. They tell you strategy and stuff. But I do remember some VHS tapes like that, and they were so like terribly put together. It was like, video games, rad, bro. Like, let's learn how to beat it. Strategy guides didn't really get big, I think, until around the early 90s. They're still figuring out what to call them because they were putting out the strategy guide. I don't even think they were called strategy guides yet. I think 89 maybe they were.
I think Nintendo had a big role in making
Nintendo Power's game secrets.
It was Nintendo Power, which in Japan,
I got them all over there.
Yeah, the Japanese versions were okay, but the when it got Americanized and brought over here, it just got taken to a whole new level.
People want to know the secrets to games, man. It's where it's at. It's awesome to know all the ins and outs, and you can spend a lifetime trying to find them, or get a strategy guide. So let's look at another one of these ads, and let's see which one I show. I showed Sword of Vermilion. What about, let's see, Genesis does what Nintendo don't. We got Super Monaco GP, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, eSWAT, their Sword of Vermilion, Columns, and Dynamite Duke. I have not played Dynamite Duke. I think I played it. I love Moonwalker. I think that game's hilarious. Joe Montana Football. That's who said that? Was that Wayne Tech that was talking about that? Pat Riley Basketball. That actually looks like an NBA Jam. Maybe NBA Jam came after that. I've not played. That looks good. That screenshot there.
Yeah, that was actually a Japanese basketball game under a different name, and they brought it over to America. And the Sega America guy who they had in charge was going up, and he was getting a whole bunch of endorsements from various people. For the sports games. Obviously, he snagged Joe Montana, James Buster Douglas, eventually Evander Holyfield, and in this case, Pat Riley for the basketball title.
James Buster Douglas Knockout Boxing. Now, isn't that like the key game for Sega Master System? I think it's Buster Douglas.
I don't know about that. I don't really know a whole lot about the Master System. I wasn't a Master System guy.
Well, you had a VCR. You know about something else. Ah, so funny. All righty. Next, we got this one. Check that out. Tommy Lasorda Baseball. Sweet. Pat Riley's basketball. This is like almost all. Except we got Spider-Man there.
Yeah, it's kind of an odd, odd squeezing that title in with all the other ones.
Well, Genesis might not do it Nintendo on this one, because this is like 1, 2, 3. I guess sports games were really picking up then. Madden was a huge hit. Tecmo Bowl was definitely huge previously, right? When did that come out?
It wasn't a huge success like on other platforms per se. Yeah, on the NES, and I can't remember if the SNES version came out. It was very big. Tecmo Bowl, I believe, had some kind of variant on the Genesis, but it was pretty much Joe Montana versus Madden, and Madden won by quite a bit. Madden was absolutely like the first Madden was okay, but when Madden 92 came out,
oh man,
all the college dorms, everyone was playing. That's what we played in our
Madden
dorm.
92 was awesome, and like I said, 93 was my favorite. And then anything 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think they're all. I mean, all great. Let's look at this one. 17 companies have earned the right to display this seal.
Now, obviously, this was part of the strategy to beat Nintendo at their own game. So what they realized is they needed to also show that that they took the publishing seriously and didn't just rubber stamp everything and shovel everything out the door, which kind of sort of happened anyway. But just like on the NES, but yeah, so. There are like 17 companies here, and maybe you might recognize maybe like, I don't know, 2 of them. Funny thing is EA is in there, and EA had been going through a court battle with Sega to be able to publish their own games on their own terms. Mm-hmm. They didn't want to be told basically what to do, how much to pay for manufacturing, how many titles per year they were allowed to do. And there's some really interesting documentaries just on that. But at the end of the day, just before the CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, they came to a deal, and basically EA was free to manufacture their own cartridges. They could publish as many titles as they wanted per year, and the license fee that they had to pay to Sega was much more reasonable. And that wound because they were able to meet at the table like adults and hammer it out. The gamers won. We got far more titles than we would have otherwise, and we got some this was when EA was awesome. This is when EA was just first putting out stuff like content like Road Rash, and of course the really awesome John Madden titles in their infancy, and stuff like other PC stuff that we hadn't seen yet that was ported from either the Amiga or so on, and seeing the light of day on a console release. We got stuff like Populous and Budokan and stuff like that. That was it was okay at first, but this was all some of the computer based stuff they were exposing to, and then they got more and more exclusive with some of the content. And there's a lot of great stuff that they delivered.
Well, if you look back at this, let's see. You said I don't see. Oh, there it is. Electronic Arts. To see it.
Populous. That was probably may have been the first release.
Tengen, Activision, Namco. I can't read some of these. Is that DreamWorks? What is it, DreamWorks?
INTV, Canico, Seismic.
Who the hell are some of these?
Exactly.
New Vision, Treco.
Treco, DreamWorks.
Treco?
Not the DreamWorks you think it is. Yeah, Razorsoft. Razorsoft obviously did Stormlord and Technocop.
Obviously, what do you mean obviously? I didn't know that.
Technosoft did the Thunder Force
series. You are an encyclopedia of Sega, my friend. You are a deep well of knowledge. Let's check out this one. Let me get this banner off here for a second. Your world will never be the same. Genesis 16-bit, the ultimate dimension in gameplay. We've got Super Shinobi. Oh, Super Shinobi. Was it ever called Super Shinobi?
It's also called Super Shinobi, but yes, they were behind. It got retitled as Revenge of Shinobi, and then released. And I don't know if you remember, but that's Revenge of Shinobi is a crazy title. Like if you go back and play it again, like Spider-Man's a villain in it, and they got Batman. Like these are like some of the end bosses that you fight in Revenge of Shinobi. Like totally crazy. But they're in there. It makes it even more awesome that you had that game, that title back in the early '90s. Just for those of you who haven't played Revenge of Shinobi, you really got to check it out. Just a classic all the way through, and some real surprises.
They got our some of our favorites. Golden Axe, Phantasy Star 2 there. Let's see.
Phantasy Star 2, one of the best RPGs released at the time. Also,
Ghouls and Ghosts. Oh my god.
an excellent port. Yeah, excellent.
Excellent port. Yep. So we got a question here.
Yeah.
And I think we have played this game. Hold on, let me get that down. Go back to the comments and get bam. Have you guys ever played Mazen Saga Mutant Fighter?
I did a little bit. I was bad because I would buy a whole bunch of games like Amazing Fighter. I would play it for 5 minutes and put it back on the shelf and like just not get back to it because I had I was collecting so much. So as I recall, that was a mech. It was like a mech type of fighter guy with a sword, and I believe
it
one-on-one.
One-on-one.
No, I think it was more like an adventure side scrolling. I mean, do you have a copy? Otherwise, I have it here. That's definitely title that I have.
It's not here. No.
Oh, okay. Well,
no. Where is it? I don't know.
I played it. I don't have a whole lot of memories. I think I may have played it.
I plan on doing a lot of gameplay videos because I just really want to focus on doing the escape to play games. That's what I like doing. Games. I like actually having people pop in and out with comments and say, "Hey, man, what's up? What are you playing?" Blah blah blah. That's the type of YouTube I prefer to do. Let's see here. I think I got a couple more of these. Back to the thing. Okay, what's this? Let's see. What is this? Is it order form?
This is buy two get one free. This is EA's version of the buy two get one free that Sega did. And if you look at the that box on the right hand column towards the bottom, those are all the games that you could get free or you could buy two and then get
Buck Rogers.
Buck Rogers is actually pretty cool.
Is it?
Yeah, you'll see that.
The Immortal Road Rash. Oh my god, I love Road Rash.
Yeah, there's some great titles in there. Really,
my favorite Road Rash I think was on Sega CD. That I played a lot of that. And there we go. Free game coupon. Buy two Sega games, get one free. Toe Jam and Earl. Is that Phantasy Star 3? Golden Axe 2?
So you could get Toe Jam and Earl and Phantasy Star 3.
Chameleon.
Free game, you could get like Golden Axe 2 or Shining in the Darkness or Spider.
Shining in the Darkness.
That's excellent. That's really. I also like Kid Chameleon. I thought that was
hindsight 2020. I'm a dumbass. Yep. Wow. And you could have gotten David Robinson's. What does that say? Supreme
Court. Yeah.
Supreme Court. Yeah.
I seem to remember that was a decent.
Yeah, it's just there's so many sports games out there. I'm sure you know what? It might be a disguised jewel, little hidden gem. So yeah, that's cool, man. You found all these ads. They're probably over on SegaRetro.org or what?
Oh, I just looked around.
Googled them.
Just some of them, but yeah, there's a lot more. There's ones that with the release of Phantasy Star 2, and they were a lot more involved with the gaming magazines. I think most of these I saw in Electronic Gaming Monthly or Game Fan. I didn't really follow Game Pro. I think Game Pro was just a little too kiddie for me, and I didn't really like their review format a whole lot.
Game Fan was cool. They had the guy with the TV head on all their.
Awesome. Game Fan was one.
I guarantee you, the guy that made that Image Comics. Oh hell yeah, we did. We have a question coming up. I guarantee you, there's a comic book. I can't remember the name of it that was based on that freaking Game Fan covers because the guy has a TV head it's a sci-fi book. Oh, my baby just got neutered. I know, it's so bad. Oh, it just sucks. It sucks. Oh, buddy. Let's get you on camera here. Is it rough? Is it rough not having your balls? I'm sorry, buddy. We call it the sad sack now. It has to happen. Has to happen so you don't get your sister pregnant. Yeah. All right, now get out of here. Go. Okay, you can stay. I don't care. Listen, look at this question. Did you have a Game Gear? Oh, hell yeah. That was the Game Boy in color, man. We played the shit out of Game Gear. Man, Game Gear is awesome.
I had a Game Gear that I took down to Orlando with me, and when I came back, for some reason I accidentally left it in my car, just like overnight, and somebody stole my Game Gear out of my car, And what's weird is they left the carrying case that it was zipped up in, like on the side of the road. So I had like
the one that got stolen.
Yeah, it was one that got stolen. I had
in our neighborhood out front, probably
our house.
Probably those kids down the street. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
the boys that live down the street. Them was from the backwoods.
Oh yeah. So they had a TV tuner attachment that you could watch TV on.
Of course.
Bunny ears with that. I had the Axe Battler RPG game with that. So I think I had two different.
I forgot about that.
They had two different RPGs.
It's just called Axe Battler, isn't it, or something like that?
Yeah, it's like Axe Battler.
What's up, Retro Rivals? That's Jen Burns. But yeah, I think Scott's under his and Jen's under that one. But yep, Retro Rivals. We did have a Game Gear. Well, you had the Game Gear. Battery life sucked, but I think it was way superior to Game Boy Color, obviously.
There were some great Defenders of the Oasis. Wasn't as other RPGs.
Didn't we play like Final Fight? Was that Game Gear?
No. You're thinking of Game Boy Advance.
Streets of Rage. I mean, yeah,
there's the Streets of Rage game.
There's a Streets of Rage on there. I remember playing that. A lot of Sonic. Sonic was great on there. Sonic and Tails, probably, I think is what it was called. I just got a Game Gear a couple nights ago for $50, and it came with Ninja Gaiden and like 4 sports titles, Sonic, and all the attachments and a case. And I pretty much got it to pluck out Ninja Gaiden and some of the titles I don't have, and then I'll.
The Disney titles are also quite good on it, like Lion King. Lion King was really solid. Jungle Book. I want to say Mickey, but I can't remember if there was Castle. I can't remember if the Castle Illusion was ported over or not. Castle of Illusion on Dreamcast, which was an early Disney title, was awesome at the time. Just incredible.
Yep. You know, they did good with the Disney games. I remember playing the hell out of Aladdin for the SNES.
And that was, I don't know if you remember about that time period with Aladdin, but Sega had a partnership with Disney, particularly the parks. And in Epcot, they basically had a mini CES show for all of the Sega products. So you when you went in the gate, off to the left-hand side is the Innovations Building. And the Innovations Building, they had all of these game systems set up. And so there's a massive presence of all the Sega games. So you could play all of the current releases, plus stuff that was just about to be released, prototypes. They had a Saturn that was in the corner from Japan that was playing. The two guys are playing a Virtual Fighter on that hadn't been released over here yet. And then what was really cool also is so Nintendo didn't really have a presence there, for some weird reason Atari had a small section, and there was a work in progress of Alien versus Predator that people could play. And I remember this guy he was a European guy, and he was like some genius with this particular game, and he was playing through it, and he was getting so far, and he wasn't dying and everything. People were just like lining up just to watch this guy play on the Jaguar. That was a Jaguar release. It was really, really cool. I can't remember some of the other systems. I don't think if Jaguar's there, was
on
out.
Jaguar. Oh, you're saying on Jaguar though?
Yes, the Atari Jaguar was definitely there.
God, I was disappointed with that system. But yeah, there's a few good games.
That was the best one of them.
Zool's really good. What do you think of Bloodlines?
Castlevania Bloodlines, one of the best.
Probably behind Symphony of the Night for me, but damn, that's a great game, and I want to go back and actually replay it. Maybe that's what I'll stream next. So I love. There's so many good Castlevania titles, man. Now, Scott Burns, do you watch the anime on Netflix? And that's right. They have Canadian Netflix up there, Toastman. So, they have trouble getting the same stuff that we do. And so I was telling them, man, I create them an account and they can use a VPN. And that's what I've heard. It works. They could use the VPN, say they're in San Diego or whatever.
Interesting. Yeah, season 4 just got released like I want to say a week ago, or maybe even like a few days ago. And I just went through the whole season. The season was good. I actually liked it, but it was a little weird. Some characters were dying off and stuff. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought that this series was going a bit longer. So I don't know if they're planning to wrap it up like at season 5 or something like that. But I was kind of surprised. A couple of bad guys bit the dust a little sooner than I was expecting. But all in all.
Don't tell me anything. I have not watched it.
All in all, very solid season. Also, go ahead.
Go ahead. Finish your thought, because I'm gonna pop a game in here.
Okay. Well, the other thing that just also got released was Love, Death, and Robots, and I finished that also today.
I watched like the first 4 of them, and I got to watch the other 4. So I got about 8 games here to discuss. Let's see. I got 3 heavy hitters. I want you to tell me the story how you got them. There's Shining in the Darkness. We talked about that one. We talked about Altered Beast, Phantasy Star 2. We're not going to talk about that one. Not that one. Not that one. So I want to talk about. I have them, all 3 of them here, but Streets of Rage. If not the best, it's one of the best beat 'em ups all time. I think Final Fight CD, Streets of Rage 2, absolutely incredible. And what are your thoughts?
Unfortunately, I don't have a good story for Streets of Rage 2. What was interesting is, for some reason, I wasn't really impressed with Streets of Rage 1, so I didn't buy it, but I got it free as a pack-in with my Sega CD, and of course it has some minor changes to it. So I had that on CD, and I would play it from the 4-in-1 disc that came with the Sega CD. But I did buy Streets of Rage 2, and I thought, well, that was way better. I was like, wow, and that caused me to go and seek out the 3rd one, which I got from Japan, and of course I got from Japan, and then I got it for the US.
Yeah, Bare Knuckle 3, and I have that copy as well as
Bare Knuckle 3 is not edited like
exactly. So
3rd one.
Is that the one with the gay end boss that they took out?
Yeah, the guy dressed up as one of the village people. He's got
totally, yeah.
Totally, yeah.
And then wasn't there a Game Genie code to unlock him and just beat the hell out of everybody? He was so strong, he'd just go just bitch slap somebody and take like half their bar down. It's a great Game Genie code. You could do it with Shiva too. Hilarious. Also, Streets of Rage 2 on Steam, they have a lot of ROM hacks, and you can play as all the Street Fighter characters. I have a video on it of playing as Fei Long, which is basically Bruce Lee, and it is hilarious how fast it is. So yeah, big fan of those. And also for beat 'em ups, Comic Zone. Unfortunately, a very short game.
Yeah, that was by the Sega Technical Institute. That's one of the Sega Technical Institute releases.
And what is the Sega Technical Institute?
Oh, it was this strange thing that they were that's a really good question, because they were training people to be game developers. They had their own basically institute where they would be kind of like a college, where they would take talent and put them in a team, and part of what they would work on is some kind of project, and this is one of the projects. And they released I can't remember, like four or five games, but this is the most notable one. Comic Zone was
it was fantastic. And I'm just looking here at the music where it says bonus CD includes tracks from Danzig, Love and Rockets, Julian Cope, and more. Is the CD in here? I wonder if it is. I'm not opening it. We talked about it, but Ghouls and Ghosts, man, excellent port from the arcade. This is my wife's favorite game for the Genesis. She loves Ghouls and Ghosts, and this is hard, man. Hard game.
That is so frustrating too.
Scott Burns, my favorite beat 'em up, because it was my second game for the Genesis. I forgot to read that, and now we know the order in which he got his games: Golden Axe 2, then Streets of Rage 2. What was your third game? What was it? He had a pretty good pick for the first two. But Ghouls and Ghosts, excellent platformer. If you don't know that already, you obviously do if you're in the Sega Genesis discussion.
Sega and Capcom had a good relationship, and they, I guess they shared a lot back and forth, and they handled the port of Ghouls and Ghosts themselves. So it's a license by Capcom, but it was programmed by Sega.
All right. We played the shit out of this game. This is one of my favorite games. Just the funkiness of it. And that is Toe Jam and Earl. This is just amazing. Incredible game.
Underrated title. Very obscure.
An IP that almost died, I mean, they brought it back with Back in the Groove. But yeah, kind of like I now hear that they're gonna redo a lot of their IPs and bring them back, but they did get Back in the Groove going and get Streets of Rage 4 going. Let's see some of these other ones. I mean,
that was one of the titles we played the heck out of in the college dorm when that released. Oh man, people couldn't stop playing that.
Well, isn't it 99 levels or something? We beat it. I remember that we completed the ship.
You won't go through 99 levels in order to build the spaceship back together, but it's like maybe like
I thought it was a lot,
like 40 to 50. But it's not.
Well, I thought it was 90 or 99. I remember on one of them there's like this secret island off to the side. Lots of little secrets in that game.
You have to fall through a level to be able to get to like that island. You have to fall into it, and you would be able to to get special presents and stuff like that. So yeah, that was.
I love that game. When I play Ghouls and Ghosts, it makes Scott drunk because okay, makes him drink. He drinks because he has to watch you play, or is he just high on Ghouls and Ghosts? The first NHL game was the third. Do you remember what the first NHL game was?
What, NHL Hockey?
Yeah.
By EA, that one?
Probably.
That was awesome because like they had the fights and everything in it.
Yeah, I know.
You just
NHL 94, I think is it 94 is on there, right? Am I thinking of Super Nintendo? NHL 94.
Yeah, I think it's called NHL PA 94 or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. It's been a long time since I played them.
It was NHL hockey, and then I think there was one more. They still had the fights, and then they had to take it all out once the Players Association got in there. Also, same with the Madden.
Because every time I die, he drinks.
Oh,
that's why he gets drunk. That's a great relationship you guys have there. They're both gamers. It's really cool.
So with Madden 92 and 93, they'd have stuff like the ambulance that would come out and it would like run over all the players.
Yes, and it would hit all the players. I forgot about that. Oh my god.
They had to take that out.
That's what we're looking for. That's the nostalgia right there. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, and you could keep hitting people after the play was over. Then you could get like a sports with like
yeah. Holy crap. So these other four I have to discuss. Let's just show this one. This is just because we played a bunch of it, but I don't remember playing a lot of it. Platformer, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, adventure game. Yeah, but yeah, it's a classic platformer.
I remember now because I can see. See if I can get close there. I can see their big heads.
A big head, little body, a little strange.
Chibi characters.
Yeah, exactly. But it was a bit of fun. It was one of the first movie licenses that they did something with. It was decent, a decent movie license to game. Like there were a lot of bad ones. That one wasn't bad. We also got a decent version of Batman from Sunsoft that made good use of the license as well. Though I think that the NES had the better Batman game.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
That is I feel like it's a forgotten game. This is a fantastic shooter, I believe, for the Genesis, and this is Fire Shark. We played the hell out of this game.
That's one of the best shooters of all time. Incredible.
It's just, even though it could be considered like the graphics are aged and stuff and all that, I just had so much fun playing this game. Fire Shark is totally, I think now, a hidden gem or disguised jewel. But
fun factors off the charts in that game.
Yeah, this is a great game. Fantastic game. I don't know. I don't know if people remember or not. Looks awesome, but never played Ghostbusters. You got to try it, my friend. Fire Shark. Try that. And I don't think it costs that much money. As a matter of fact, let me look it up here. I just don't think it ever... Hold on. Well, $49. Yeah, well, I guess it is complete. It's like $100, but I just, man, there's emulation. Not saying to steal anything, but let's hear the story of how you got this bad boy. Bam! Crusader Ascenti.
Oh, I've been eyeing that one for a while because that's been compared to the Legend of Zelda. Basically, it's like Sega's Legend of Zelda. But I've been seeing screenshots of the game for months in various magazines. I think Game Fan actually was one of the ones that was covering it, and it just looks so good. I'm like, when that thing releases, I have got to get myself a copy. And so I pre-ordered that and wound up getting that. But yeah, that is well worth money.
I think I'll only emulate this one. I will not. This box is so mint. I don't even want to crease the flaps opening it. I mean, look at that. You kept that one mint, buddy. That's the cardboard version. They also have a clamshell version. This is the mint cardboard version. This is the jewel of our Sega. We merged collections, made a deal, merging collections. Yeah, that's kind of the jewel of it. And then how'd you get the other one? How'd you get Musha?
Musha, I don't really have a lot to say about that. That was one of these ones where, of all things, it was actually being clearanced, and I think I just got it for like $20.
$20 clearanced.
It wasn't.
Oh, shit. Well, that's a clamshell one, so it's okay.
It was not hugely successful here in the States, and I may have gotten that at KB Toys. Mm-hmm. Because they had a number of shooters, like Wings of War was another one that I picked up over there. Wings of War, Arrow Flash, they had a number of shooters. And if I'm not mistaken, I got Musha there as well. Of course, it's possible that Toys R Us was clearancing it out as well. So these are some of my spots. Like I would always check out Toys R Us, KB, K&K. And I always find something. To a lesser extent, say Circuit City. You get your spots, and
just like it is now. I mean, PlayStation 3 is going through the roof right now because they were saying they're going to close the store, and now those have all jumped and are kind of holding their prices for the most part. It's like, man, I got all my PS3 games cheap. I mean, right now I'm focusing on picking up PS4 because they're Xbox One. Now those are cheap, but they don't have enough exclusives. But you got to collect when they're cheap because they're going to go up in the future. That's what history has told us. You ready for another one? I got four more. Four more. I just want to talk about the heavy hitters real quick. We played a lot of this, but this game is hard as shit.
Oh, game kicked her ass.
Oh, my God.
So I think we got through the first three levels, and the fourth just absolutely obliterated us.
Yeah. This was so brutal, man.
Yeah, you go to the one that really just killed the crap out of us was this level where you're in space, you're flying around, and it's just like everything just gangs up on you and like just shoots the crap out of you. It's just like you only have like so many lives and so many continues, and it just, and if you every time you die, you have to go all the way at the very beginnings. There's not like any like save points as I recall, so it's just brutally hard game. I eventually beat it with a Game Genie.
We would never do that. We'd never use a Game Genie. The ending of a game back then.
What's
now you just have YouTube. You just look it up. How's this thing end, man? I'm just gonna look it up. You know what I mean?
The ending of Target Earth is cool. The ending is really cool on Target Earth.
I could not get past wherever you say it was. It was level 4 or something. I remember it was so frustrating.
Either we beat the first 2 levels and then got to 3 and just died, or beat the first 3 levels and got to level 4. But we didn't get far, and it gets worse. Like when you put on the invincibility codes and you just start playing through the later levels, it's insane. It's like, how did they expect anyone to get anywhere in the game?
Stop. He's trying to lick his nuts.
Oh, I thought he was trying to eat one of the games.
No, he's neutered dog, man. You're nasty. He's nasty, bro. He's gross. I got 2 beat 'em ups left, and I have a platformer run and gun, sort of. So I guess I'll start with a beat 'em up. Man, you know what? I feel guilty about what I'm about to say because I haven't played enough of this. I played the shit out of Turtles in Time, and I know this is like the Genesis sister to that, which is the Hyperstone Heist. And I can't remember if it's kind of redone or stuff's added, stuff taken out, but it is a different game for sure. And that is the Hyperstone Heist. And I love Turtles. It's on my backlog, man. Gotta do this.
It was a little easy. I remember playing it like once or twice and beating the whole game. So it was obviously if you want more of a challenge, you'd have to increase the difficulty. But just on the base difficulty, that wasn't a bad one to play through. I also remember something about it. There was like a move in there that wasn't in the Super NES version, but I don't remember what it was. It's just been too long.
I shouldn't have picked it out. Oh, Gernaldinho plays. How you doing, Gernaldinho? Hello, all, and a wave. Thank you for stopping in. What's your favorite game, sir? Yep. So what made you guys decide to combine collections? You want to answer that one?
Yeah.
I don't know why you decided. I just give you money.
Just look what's behind me. Look at all the crap that I've collected.
He just moved.
I got too much crap.
Yeah.
It was time. I'm like swimming in games. I could sleep on games. I could bathe in games. I got too many games. So yes, it was time.
He collected since the 80s.
Yeah.
Our dad worked on Atom computers. He's got an Atom set, a ColecoVision set. You got, I think, some Atari stuff. I don't think you're really into Atari, right? We have some stuff.
I was, but I don't really have any of that anymore.
Yeah, that's gone. But yeah, I was visiting him a few years ago. We got to talking, and I told him how I was working on my collection. I sold all the stuff I have because I got sick like 8 years ago, and I've been building mine back up. And we just got to talking, and his stuff was sitting in boxes, and I'm trying to build kind of the ultimate game room and game collection, and I think the one person he would pass it on to is me. So we came up with a price, and I've paid him every year since, and we're almost done with that. We're about to wrap that up, and I'm gonna come out there and get the rest of it. Well, actually, you have most of it there, and we're gonna pack it up, bring it here, do a big video on it. But I would say that summarizes it, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, yeah. I had a lot of games that were just sitting around, and that
they need to be displayed for everybody. They need to be in my museum here. Let me get this thing up here. Favorite game for any particular system? Favorite games are all the Gears of War franchise. We're actually doing Sega Genesis today, but hey, man, I love Gears of War. I think Gears of War is awesome. I'll put that back up. But I think I missed a comment here from, let's see. Scott said he needs an EverDrive to play the games. We decided SNES for joint Mother's Father's Day gift, but has been jockeying hard for so. Okay. We had decided an SNES EverDrive for joint Mother's Father's Day gift, but Scott had been jockeying hard for a Genesis instead. You're not helping. I may have to give in. Well, I'll tell you what, man. If you can't find Genesis stuff up there, you might as well get a Genesis EverDrive. It's what, $200 versus having to try to collect the way you guys collect in a small town in Canada. That's going to cost a lot. And I'm sending you guys some stuff, but it's definitely nothing like key titles. I've got a few games for you, and then some loose stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of lost. I had a memory failure. What was I talking about here? Oh, favorite Genesis Mega Drive is tough. Love Super or not Super Street Fighter. Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition. And Mega Bomberman. I love both those games. And Street Fighter is a game that I played nonstop. And we played on Super Nintendo. Street Fighter 2 Turbo, the Champion Edition. Man, that's where it's at. Toastman, what will you start collecting next once Denver Gamer has all your game collection? More games.
Well, actually, I'm building a collection for my son. He has a little channel called Amazing Aiden, and he plays Nintendo Switch. So I've been getting him, like, I got him Toe Jam and Earl through Limited Run Games. So I got him that for his Switch. So he'd never played Toe Jam and Earl before. So I got him that. I've been getting him everything Mario. So he just got in the mail like a week ago the Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. And for me, that's like my favorite Mario game ever, is the Mario 3D World. I fell in love with that on the Wii U. So now he has it for the Switch. And so I'm basically just helping my son build up, his Nintendo collection. And
do you think you're kind of done with collecting, or are you gonna kind of get
I'm moving into game development, and that's also to help my son. So I want him to work in that field one day, and he's expressed interest in that. He's autistic, so he has some troubles communicating with other people, but by and large, he absolutely loves gaming. He loves playing. He loves, he's played with Mario Maker and stuff, designing some of his own stuff. So it seemed like it's right up his alley. I think it'd be a good use of his skills. So one of the things that I'd love to do is to do a spiritual successor to Phantasy Star 2, which is one of my favorite games ever.
Yeah.
I love Phantasy Star 2. It's weird how the people who played the original Phantasy Star on the Master System really loved that game, but hated what they did with Phantasy Star 2, some of the decisions they made. But of course, I came in right at Phantasy Star 2, so I don't feel like I have to share the same criticisms of the game, because it didn't have the first person dungeons and stuff like that. From the original. I love
that was ahead of its time for the Master System for sure.
Oh yeah, that broke lots.
When they came out with that was nuts. But yeah, game development, man, that's where you're heading. And I guess me and you and Aiden are gonna start doing stuff like that together. And he's gonna start a channel here soon and do his game development.
Yeah, one of the titles that I also want to extend is Venture. Venture was one of the Vision title. It was just basically laid the groundwork for Gauntlet, and I love the game mechanics. Love the type of game.
What about Dragon Stomper?
Oh, Dragon Stomper was basically the first console RPG. I would love to extend that as well.
Yeah, we tried. So I tried contacting the people who own the rights to Dragon Stomper like a year ago. I couldn't get a response. Do you remember that? We're like, we should totally, the first thing we do a sequel to Dragon Stomper with the oppressed village and all that stuff, and do a retro, kind of how Undertale is. But
ColecoVision never actually got a formal release of that. It was only the StarPath Supercharger for the Atari 2600. I was thinking, man, if you had a 32K ROM, you could actually pack a whole lot in. And then I was like, well, why even go that route at all? Why don't you do a prototype on something like a Godot, which is the game engine that we chose. It's kind of a Unity type of package. Do that, and then either find somebody to port it over. Like one of many very talented ColecoVision developers, or you could do it yourself. I have got a background in ColecoVision development. I just haven't released any games. It's been a while. So we're gonna go to the prototyping stage because I can include my son on doing some of those things. and he'd actually be able to play around with the development tools and stuff like that. When we get it to where we want to, then we can look about shrinking that down to fit onto a smaller cart.
So let's catch up some of these comments here. Streets of Rage 2 as well. Yep, we were just talking about that before you came. A bunch. Lots of Streets of Rage talk. We all love it. I think everybody in the comments, all 6 of us combined.
I felt like Streets of Rage 2 really upped its game to where like I could play Final Fight CD and then go to Streets of Rage 2 and there wasn't like a drop off like graphical quality and stuff like that. Like I could and there were different games obviously, but I didn't so much feel that way with the first one. But the second one, I love how that paired with being able to play the Final Fight CD and then go to that and play some more. Like it was kind of like, okay, I want more, and you could go to the Streets of Rage 2 and and kind of like get your fill of great beat 'em up action.
That just reminded me a little off topic, but just because we're talking to Scott Burns, it's in the chat, and he's saying it's hard to collect Genesis stuff where he's at. Will you tell me in the comments, is it hard to collect TurboGrafx 16 stuff where you're at? Because I know that was bigger in Canada, and it is so hard to find down here, at least in Colorado. It's unreal. But let me catch this up here. Jen Burns, Retro Rivals. Well, Genesis it is, because honestly, if it keeps a big guy happy, I'm happy. What a great wife you got there. I'm playing the PS4 anyways. That's what she said. PS4 blew Xbox One out of the water, in my opinion, even though Xbox One is probably the better machine. What happened to the exclusive? That's a whole other talk for a different time.
Microsoft lost it right
out of the gate. I think they had it on the 360. 360 blew away PS3. They had the same games that are on both systems were better on the 360. They had a ton of exclusives, and they said, whatever, we want to go online gaming direction and screw exclusives.
They got very political. They made a lot of choices that were beneficial to themselves, not to gamers. And I remember I was like,
do you remember the not? I know we're going on the Xbox here. Do you remember the not sharing games with each other? You couldn't sell your game to a friend, all that shit. And then PS4 came out and was like, or Sony came out and was like, well, you know what they're doing? We're not doing that. And you know what else they're doing? These other bad things? We're not doing that either. We believe you should be able to do all these things.
Microsoft would require you to have an online connection the entire time. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to. So, no transfer of ownership for titles. Yeah, it was horrible.
That little part of your comment, Jen, triggered me. I'm sorry. Microsoft pissed me off. Okay. Do you guys only collect games? Did you collect anything else?
Oh, yes. Comics. Yeah. Sure. I collected some laser discs.
Hey.
which was probably a bad investment. Some movies, comics, the Amiibo figurines, some of the figurines. Yeah, I mean, we both had our G.I. Joe stint. Unfortunately, I think our mother threw most of those away, or I don't know what happened to those.
I had a bunch of them. I actually wound up selling them in my 20s.
Oh, that's what you did. Okay.
Yeah, I think 20 years ago on eBay, probably I got $100 for them.
Of course, Chris. Sorry,
I don't care.
Never gamer. You were
three people. No one's breaking in my house.
You were collecting computer-based games as well.
So you see this shelf, Wayne Tech? See that big 5x5 next to that skinny dog that he also had surgery? That's full of graphic novels. So I collect graphic novels only because I don't want to pay for key issues. So I only collect graphic novels. Let me show you guys something here. I am really big into 50s and 60s horror comics. Those are something I will collect single issues for because they're usually anthologies. So one comic is one story. So this is Marvel Masterworks. I have this complete set. This is just the fourth one. Has the comics on the back. But I am big time in the old horror comics. And most horror movies and like, I don't know, sci-fi thriller stuff, a lot of the ideas are from these comics from back in the 50s. There's tons of them. There's like almost countless. If you'll just keep finding more and more horror comics if you dig deep enough. It was a huge thing in the 50s and 60s. Our grandfather died. He left back a coin collection that got me into coin collecting after I got it from dad at some point, like way down the road, and wasn't worth anything, but it got me into collecting silver dollars. And then I wound up selling all those one day. Coin collecting is not for me. It's a good investment, but it's not for me. It has to be something interactive. It has to be something I can read, something I can take out and play. It's not something where I put it into a slab and stick it in a box and go, okay, I've got 1878 CC now, and I got to go get the other mints and all that. I'm going on too many rants today. Holy crap. So, let's see. Thunder Force 3. I have that back there in my closet. Thunder Force 3 is one of my favorites. Impossible. Something that I said earlier. I don't know. TurboGrafx 16. Is that impossible? Is that what you're saying? The one screwed up its launch and never really caught up. Ah, God, I'm just way too late on these comments. And Retro Rival, she's triggered. 2 more games I got to discuss, and I think we got to call it. Another great port beat 'em up game. It's really skyrocketed in price. This didn't used to be as much as it costs now. Same with the Splatterhouses. Those are astronomical. I'm still looking for. What do I have, Toastman? I got 2 and 3, I think, and then I'm looking for 1. Or no, I don't have 2.
One was not released on the Sega Genesis.
Oh yeah. That was yeah. I'm missing one of the 2. I'm missing, I think, number 2, and you gave me 3, or vice versa. Whatever. You were missing 1.
I think I have both, and I gave you 3, but I still have 2 or something.
Oh, do you? I thought you were missing 1. Punisher, amazing beat 'em up. The arcade is, of course, the definitive edition, just like it would be for Ghouls and Ghosts. But this game is a really good port of it. It's very, very fun. You get guns and all types of stuff. And let's see if I can get the back. I love this game. I've played through it. I just want to bring it up because I feel like it's a forgotten beat 'em up. I don't think when people talk about this one for the arcade, it's probably one of my favorite beat 'em ups, top 10 for arcade. So now this is an odd one. I kind of saved this one for last because I've played it and it's a little funky, but it's definitely entertaining. That's Elysia Dragoon. I think that's really kind of like a hidden gem or a disguised jewel. But have you played this, Toastman?
Long time ago. I've totally forgotten it.
It's basically a platformer where you shoot lightning out of your palms at all of the monsters coming at you around you. And I got Gunstar Heroes back there too, but I forgot to get that out. Definitely one to pick up. If you can find it, be on the lookout for this one. And you said you have Troubleshooter, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's another one. I've been looking for that. Look at that P on there.
Okay, that was a
pre. Damn it. Bastards. Oh, you son of a bitch.
So that was Babbage's. Babbage's would do that.
Oh, why they put a P on there then? Good God.
Well, they didn't want you trying to trade it back in as something that was purchased brand new.
Well, since it's Sharpie, I might be able to get it off without damaging the label. That's what I can use. It have to be a very lightly damp cloth and just hit it once, let it dry. Don't hit it too much. Just one pass by. I definitely could not use alcohol in that. I know there's something that they use on SNES carts in the SNES collectors group. I'll have to ask them. Wow. That's what you call a wee bit of a bummer there. So TurboGrafx 16 is impossible to collect. Well, I'm in the TurboGrafx 16 collectors group, and all the guys are from Canada. They're the big-time collectors. That sucks because I have a weak collection, and so does Toastman. I've got 5 games. Do you have any games?
No, I did not collect either TurboGrafx 16 or Turbo Duo.
Yeah, I've got I've got one that I have a TurboGrafx 16. I got finally in a lot with a CDX. And a big box is $100. And I got a CDX, and I've got a TurboGrafx 16.
So basically, the Sega Genesis was battling TurboGrafx 16 until the Super Nintendo was finally able to, to show up.
I feel like the Genesis is like how. I guess they both had a lot of exclusives. I mean, I feel like when you really jump into the Genesis library, still, even though like I am a hardcore collector, I think together we've got like 400 games done out of all of it. And it's like, you will still come across something that's like, what the hell is this game? This is awesome, Or there's actually imports that kick ass too. So, oh, yes, Punisher is a great game. Oh, you got a loose copy of that. Way to go. That's expensive, man. It's expensive. And you know what? There is nothing wrong with getting repro games. I'm sorry, not games, but boxes and stuff. Why'd you pay like $100 for a box or whatever? I got Mars Matrix in a lot the other day, and it was damaged. It was like water damaged. Everything was damaged, and so I ordered this repro, which the CD I just got cleaned at Game Force professionally, and it's like perfect. Is out in the car. Actually, I need to go get it out of my car. But somebody made this on eBay, $8 plus $4 shipping, and I'm telling you, I compared it to that waterlogged, jacked up manual just to see how you can still kind of see how the print is and everything. This is $8, man, and this guy did this repro, and it is like spot on everything. The gloss from other Dreamcast stuff, it was $8. Or I could go buy a CIB for 150 more than just a loose disc, or maybe 200 more. I don't know how much it costs. It's crazy. Mean Green, what you saying? Mean Green? Is that a game? Mean Green. Okay, eat your broccoli, kids. Don't have any TurboGrafx 16. Oh, Mean Green will take that off. Okay. I don't know. I didn't know what that was. So Mean Green will take that off. All right. I'll take Sharpie off that label. So yeah. That's how we got this. That's how my brother got the Sega CD. He sold his VCR, and then he got a Sega Genesis. And Herzog Zwei was one of your first ones, and
yeah, actually, Star 2 was also one of my first titles too. Like in the first 5 or so games I got.
Speaking of games that need a revival, Altered Beast is definitely one of them. They need to come up with a sequel. Wasn't there one for PS2 that was an import, Altered Beast? Ooh, I think it's PAL only. There's an Altered Beast that's PAL only. Look, yeah, check that out. It might have been in Japan. Never made it over here. So
it's a crying shame some of the stuff is left in Japan that doesn't arrive here.
Oh God! Wait till we do the Saturn nostalgia discussion. Oh my God!
Saturn, Dreamcast, Sega.
Dreamcast. Working designs would bring over what they can, and now they're gone. Now they're gone.
It's just not the same. I mean, I do like companies like Xseed and then some of the other publishers like Atlas.
But Xseed has some weird ass rapey games too.
Oh,
they have some weird shit, man. Isn't that the one that has Galgun? I gotta look. So I'm not talking the wrong smack. Xseed. I'll put naughty game. I thought they're the ones that did Galgun. Or they had some intimacy modes. Let's see. Maybe I'm wrong. Blah, 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 blah. I think I am wrong. But anyway, they have some weird ass like schoolgirl visual novel stuff, man. I do know that. How I know it. Anyway, what else? Any other games you guys love for the Sega Genesis before we call it here? Come here. Gamora. 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 You want to see my baby girl, Great Dane? Gamora, come here. Come here. So I have Groot, Rocket, and Gamora. That's my little baby. Oh, yes, my little baby. Oh, yes. This is just, my sweetheart.
So just to follow up, the Sword of Vermilion was did have the Yu Suzuki as a producer on it. So Mr. Shenmue, his first game, if I'm not mistaken, his first game was Sword of Vermilion.
All right. Cool. Well, you guys, electrifying conversation. I think that's going to bring us to an end. So thank you guys for tuning in. I am going to probably have to go get my wife soon, because she is down at yonder bar playing poker. So, yeah. Going to go pick her up on ladies' night down there. Cheap date. Thanks for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. And thank you for the few of you that stopped in. And I will see you next time.